What is going on, guys? George Gonzalez, and I am here in the home channel, home tech series, and today we are doing, we're converting our sprinkler system back here. We're converting this system back here from a traditional sprinkler head, which just has basic timer and some seasonal adjustment. I don't really know this guy very well. It's supposed to be automated. It's supposed to have a rain sensor, but it still turns on when it rains. So that's not working, and I want to keep the lawn looking pretty fresh. So we're gonna do a replacement here. This is gonna be a review of the Yardian Pro. All right, so this is the box that the Yardian Pro comes in. Pretty unassuming, got shipped really quick. That's another bonus. Just full disclosure, I did receive the Yardian Pro for free, but I was not paid for this review, so these opinions are 100% mine. So if I don't like it or I do like it, this is going to be my full and honest opinion regarding it. But ultimately, I really wanted, or I want this to work because of what it promises to do. So it's a very good product, promising product, and it's very straightforward. The key thing is you take a picture of your existing controller, because you just transfer the wires, and then you plug it up, and that's it. Now, this is the only thing that so far I can see I don't like, is that it only has, oh, actually, no, never mind. It has a few ways to get secured on there. It is clean. It has a Ethernet connection. So I'm gonna set it up Wi-Fi at the moment, but I will be dropping an Ethernet here just to make sure this is always connected, plus my garage doors here. So I have a few things in the garage. I wanna reduce the load and keep the signal strong out here if I need it for my phone or something. But this is never gonna move, so I'm gonna hardwire this, and let me know if you want a video on making drops in the house. So let me know. I do like the design, pretty slick so far. Inside the box, we're getting the plug. So we have the plug, obviously to power it on. Hardware, not much hardware, just a few screws. So we can probably just use existing screws from the existing controller. And then just some labels here to keep everything organized. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and clear the space behind me, get some room. I'm not gonna move the shelves. I can still access it, but I'm just gonna move that and put the new one on. Let's get to it. So we have our Rainbird. This guy has the traditional wheel here. I've set it up on days and time, and that's basically it. Not much beyond that. And I'm gonna be putting the labels on this and then transferring it to the new one. So I already took a picture, so I know what this looks like. I'm gonna label this here as well, and we'll see how it goes. Super helpful. Stickers, nuts are on very well. It's installed now. So it's back there. You can see it now. So now we have to get to the installation part of it. So definitely want to go ahead and download and create an account on Yardian. That's the first step. I already did that. You want to do that, I recommend it. And then once you'll get your, let's do screen record action so you can see what I'm doing at the same time. Okay, so I'm already logged in, so we'll continue. We'll home name, we'll say home. We're going to save that. I'm going to add a device. All right, so we're going to add a device and we're going to hit there, add a new device. Okay, so the Yardian number here, it's on there. I'm not going to show it to you. So it is, I'm going to blur this out actually, because you'll see what I'm typing, right? All right, so I got the thing in there. We'll set the location, just regular stuff. Okay, we keep going. Let's go ahead and add our city, my district. I'm not sure what that means. We're gonna save it and continue with that. Okay. Let's save. So you have to look at the LED status, see where we're at. Blinking green and blue. We're gonna add, okay, so now we have our watering schedule. It's looking pretty good. Okay, connecting the sprinkler. So it's gonna connect Wi-Fi through the HomeKit. Let's hope it connects being in between these guys right here, these two big old shelves. They're like the most boring install video ever. But giving you the whole run through here. So still waiting for it. Well, you'll see it on the screen record. Okay, if you saw that, my garage went offline. Sprinkler. We'll rename this. That's another thing too, guys. You'll want to identify what zones you have, and then you could rename them. So I'll do that. I'll do that now. I have that. Let me go ahead and do it now. Okay, so it's on there. So it detected all 6 valves, and everything's there. And I think I'll leave the sensor off. So I think we are good here. It's online. Perfect. So let's see if this works. Just a quick watering test. All right, so we're gonna test. We're gonna test the front yard here. Should be the flower beds. So go here, and we'll do flower beds. It's kind of dope. It's dope, y'all. We'll try to keep this dry, the front yard on this side. So that's gonna be, it's working. Shit. All that's turning on over here. You can see everything here is turning on. There he is. I'll say that's pretty dope. So key thing is go ahead and adjust, notate your zones. That's number one. Well, let's bring it inside. We'll wrap it up inside in the office. All right, so I'm gonna give you my final thoughts and conclusion. final thoughts and conclusion on the Yardian sprinkler controller. In short, I love it. I really enjoy it. Definitely think it's worth the price, especially when you compare it. If you have the Rainbird, the newer one, the TM something, I had to bleep out that the brand, but the TMS2 or whatever that you have to add to make it Wi-Fi compatible, compared to that, which essentially only gives you wireless control to do everything that the controller does. So that really doesn't help fix the main issue, which is going to be the fact that if it rains and you have it scheduled to go off, it will rain.
Alright, so there's an example here. It rained all day and all wet. Same thing here. That is not from the rain, that is from the sprinklers going off. This is the issue with regular sprinklers.
That's the problem. So you run the risk of overwatering, wasting water, and that's the reason why I really did not use my sprinklers very often after we moved into the house. You know, it came with it. So now with having the Yardian, I've really had it for about a month. I appreciate it. Shout out to Yardian for sending the unit I hired for me to test. So really appreciate it, because what happens now is with the app, it has a smart feature. So it recognizes if it rains. It's pretty cool because it gives you an option to have, you know, multiple setups. So if you have a few houses that you're controlling, you can set them up all this way. The Wi-Fi signal, the Wi-Fi receiver on this thing is pretty strong. It's in my garage. It has yet to drop or lose communication. It does have Ethernet connection. I will be doing an Ethernet drop just so it doesn't have to be on the Wi-Fi network, and it gives it a stronger signal. And it kind of lets me know when it rains at the house. I live in Houston, and we get here, you know, torrential downpours. So this gives me a good idea if we have received rain at the house. So if we're out of town, we're away from the house for an extended period of time, this is a good little feature to have.
So as you can see, my glorious yard here, looking magnificent.
And this guy is the MVP right here. So this is the sprinkler rain detection sensor. And then really the main issue with the sprinkler system that it came with, it rhymes with rain and a flying bird. But what happens is with the rain sensor, the original setup, this setup would only prevent the sprinklers from turning on. From my knowledge, right, I'm not an irrigation expert, to my knowledge, it would only stop the sprinkler scheduled times if it was raining during that time. So what would happen is, and I'll put a splice of what would typically happen is, this past couple weeks down here has been nothing but rain, and if you had your sprinklers on normally, they would just kick on if it wasn't raining or detected rain during the time you scheduled it. And then the watering schedule is another thing that I really enjoy. What happens here is it has a schedule, and then what happens if you set the parameters, if it detects the sensor, or if it detects a certain percentage based off of the projected rain for that day, it would actually, it's smart. It turns it off or on depending on the parameters you set it. So far it's rained a ton, so I don't have any rain or any sprinklers set for like the next week, and it's automatic. The other thing that I do like as well is, I'm trying to think here, but it's somewhere in here where, yeah, so you had your rules, right? You set 60% chance of rain. I have it set to off. And then if you were to go in here and check your actual schedule, you're able to tell it to water per zone less. So this is great because what happens is on my house, the edges of the house, they tend to get soaked. So if I do have it automatic and it's working as designed, I don't want it watering more than the other parts, just because they get a lot of shade, so they don't dry out as quickly as the other ones. So this thing allows me to adjust it, and I wish I had it here. It's on here somewhere. I'm going to take just a minute. I'm going to cut this out if I can't figure it out. Okay, it's got to be... nope. Yep. Oh, here it is. So I'm going to give you a quick screen share what I'm talking about here. So what happens is, if you were to go here in the smart program, once you've done all the things I recommended, right, you're labeling the zones. So as you can see here on the sides, I don't have a lot of water. So you can adjust this, not just in total, like, hey, just the whole watering. I can adjust the specific zone to just water less. So I have basically on the sides where I have 10 and 20%. Those are the sides that I don't want a lot of water to be, to be watered. So again, that allows you to be super specific when it comes to, and super customized to your sprinklers. I know it's very boring talking about sprinklers and all this and that, but I will say this is way better than having the standard sprinkler system that was on there. It gives you a whole nother level of control. Now let me tell you about the stuff that I don't like. And the HomeKit is not really a con. It's kind of cool to see it on there. So I guess if you wanted like maybe one of those tricks to show like your buddy or whatever, like, look, hey Siri, da-da-da, it'll turn on. So that's kind of cool, but functionally, Siri turned on. Functionally, it's not necessary, especially because the smart system is truly integrated into the Yardian app, not into the HomeKit app. So that's one thing that I guess is a con, because you're adding the stuff in there, but it's not really going to be used. So sure, maybe someone comment below if you can think of a useful way to use the HomeKit app with the sprinklers that I haven't thought about. That's one thing. The other con is the case that it comes in. It does not come with the housing, because so the original sprinkler has a kind of a all-in-one casing. So the wires that come up are all funneled through the casing, and then they go into the connections. And this one really doesn't do that. And if you see, they do have an exterior casing. Mine's inside, so it's not that big of a deal. But that is one con that I would like, a potential fix. It just makes it look neater. It doesn't really affect the functionality of it. And that's really about it. Really enjoyed using this. It's kind of cool again because you get to see if it rained at your house or it didn't rain. And that's going to do it. Reviewing the Yardian sprinkler, kind of cool. And that's going to do it for me, guys. I don't know how to sum this up. I'm new to this one. Do my smart home features series. So thanks again, guys. Have a good one. Peace.